Welcome to Talk Around Town. I'm Stefan Chatwin. Joining me today is Amy Kreimeier. She's a senior planner in the Community Development Department. Amy is from Southern California and has a master's degree in urban planning. She's been with the city since 2016 when she started out as an assistant planner. This past June, she was promoted to senior planner and is the project manager for the General Plan Update project. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about how you got into planning. It's an interesting career field, but what motivated you to get into this particular profession?
So my very last class of my undergrad at the University of Oregon, where I majored in environmental studies, was a planning class. And when I took it, I was just inspired. I didn't know that there was a career that you could go into where you, in a sense, design cities. You know, you're responsible for the development patterns and buildings and growth and policies for the city. And it just really interested me. And so I decided to get a master's degree in urban planning.
So were you big into SimCity when you were in college or before that?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was little, I loved SimCity, Roller Coaster Tycoon. I loved that part. With my Barbies, I would set up my Barbie dream house, but never actually play with the Barbies. It was just designing the buildings and setting it all up.
Perfect. Now you're a Southern Californian. Are you a Dodgers fan? Tell me yes.
I'm an Angels fan.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on then from that one. But you went to the University of Oregon then.
Yes, for my undergrad.
Okay.
And then went to Cal Poly Pomona.
All right, terrific. Well, tell us a little bit about a general plan. What's a general plan?
So a general plan is legally required for every municipality in the state of California. And what it is the constitution, the framework for urban development and growth within a city and the areas around the city that might be within their jurisdiction. It sets the framework for land use patterns, infrastructure, circulation patterns, and is the basis for all land use decisions, both on private and public property.
Okay, so talk to us more about those topics that are in a general plan and maybe a little bit of some of the specifics of those topics, if you would.
Yes, so the state requires that a general plan cover 8 topics, and those are land use, circulation, conservation, open space, noise, safety, environmental justice, and housing.
I'm impressed that you've gotten all those down. Very good.
They take away my planning license if I forgot them. So all of those, the state has specific content that needs to be as part of each of those. However, you can set them up however you'd like. You can rename them, you can combine them, and you can even add more. So Fairfield, we all have all of those, but we also have economic development, urban design, and Travis Air Force Base protection.
Okay, but those 8 topics at least, regardless of what we call them, those are required by the state to be in that general plan.
Yes.
So there are lots of different plans. As a city manager, I've gone through everything from, like you said, an economic development plan, master plans, you name it. How's the general plan different from all those other plans as well as the zoning ordinances that we have in place?
Well, you can think of it like a pyramid. So you have the general plan on the bottom. It's the basis for all of the decisions, and all other plans and the zoning ordinance must be consistent with that and build on it. So if you have the general plan on the bottom, then you'd have maybe the specific plans as the next layer. So the Heart of Fairfield specific plan recently passed, and that needs to be consistent with the general plan. After that, then you have specific zoning ordinance regulations that get down to the nitty-gritty of the design of certain buildings and policies. And so they all build upon the general plan.
Okay, so the general plan is maybe more general, covering those topics, and then these specific plans give you a lot more detail. For example, the Heart of Fairfield plan has some real specifics about design guidelines and things like that.
And implementation measures. It's where you get, how are we actually going to turn this into what we want it to be.
It goes from being a plan to something that is operationalized then.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. What about this climate action plan? What is that all about?
So, as part of our general plan update, we will also be doing a climate action plan. And so the state has lots of specific targets and goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and adapting to climate change. And so what the climate action plan does is align our local actions with state goals to make sure that everything we're doing gets us on track to meet those state goals. And by doing it with the general plan update, we can make sure that everything is in sync, that the development patterns we're choosing and our policies all align and help us meet those state goals as well.
Great, thank you. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back with Amy.
Excuse me, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's some graffiti on your wall.
Well, there it is. At least I can report it on the My Fairfield CA app.
Fairfield has an app?
Yeah, and it's actually easy to use. I just enter my information, take a photo, and hit submit.
Wow, that's really simple.
Just look up My Fairfield CA in the App Store, or you can use one of these. Next time you see an issue, just scan it and send it.
Thanks, I will.
Get the My Fairfield CA app. Pass it on.
We're back with Amy Kreimeier talking about the general plan. We just finished talking a little bit about the climate action plan, Amy. And as we go through this, when are we going to start on this general plan, and how long does it take to put together a general plan?
Yeah, so we are going to start this December of this year, and a lot of activities and things are going to start flowing right after that. And we anticipate it's going to take 2 years. So bring it to the City Council for adoption in November of 2022.
So 2 years is quite a long time, but maybe it isn't. Talk to me why it takes so long to get a general plan done and adopted.
So 2 years is actually considered quick.
Okay.
There are some that can take over 5 years, and that's not going to be us.
Yeah.
We believe that it can get done in 2 years. And so the reason that it takes so long is that not only are you developing plans and policies, but you have to involve stakeholders, community members. You really want a lot of involvement. So you need lots of opportunities to get involved. And then you also have to then analyze those policies, make sure that the direction that you're going is the right one. You don't want to get too far down a path and then it's not the right way to go. And then also every project in the state of California requires extensive environmental review. And so that's all wrapped into that 2-year timeline.
So I assume this is really going to be your major focus then for the next 2 years, is this general plan?
Yes, this is my Super Bowl.
Yeah, wow. So tell me, why should I get involved, or why should the people of Fairfield get involved in this process?
This is their opportunity to really shape your community. What makes a general plan useful for its 20-year lifespan is having meaningful and diverse input. We want to hear from the community what their values are, what they see as the vision of Fairfield and the future. And that's just going to make this useful for everyone. And it gives you a stake in your community.
Okay.
It helps you be passionate about where you are, seeing the future and what we believe in and what we value.
Okay, so you have me convinced. I want to get involved. How do I get involved?
There are going to be so many ways to get involved. We are going to be reaching out through emails, surveys. We're going to be having pop-ups. We're going to be having community meetings, our regular type meetings at City Council or Planning Commission. There will be committees. There's going to be lots of different ways to get involved, and we'll start rolling them out as soon as possible. And they'll also have been set up because of COVID to quickly transfer if we need to do more online forums and Zoom calls, or if we can safely meet in person. At every phase of the project, we're going to have opportunities for people to give us their input and help shape this plan.
Terrific. So it kicks off this month, and for the next 2 years, you're going to be very busy with this general plan.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, thank you for being here, for talking with us a little bit about the general plan and planning issues here in the city. If you'd like to know more about the general plan, please visit fairfield.ca.gov/GP. Thanks for joining me today on Talk Around Town. We'll see you next time.